Hi, everyone. Wow, I've never been to this library for a program, so this is wonderful. It is lovely. It's beautiful. It's known as the queerest library ever. That's what we call it here. Free books in the back if I didn't grab you when you came in. And those are for you to take home free for your own beautiful home library. Let's all acknowledge that we're here on Ohlone land and pay our tribute to being here and pay our respects to this land as uninvited guests. We affirm their sovereign rights as First People and do our best every day to take care of this space and this land. Oh, it's an amazing evening. I'm so happy to see all of these chairs filled up. Joy. So, Queer SWANA, yay! All right. So, when I think of Queer SWANA, Vera! The beloved Oakland-based queer Armenian drag queen, known for their infectious laughter, acceptance, and love. Beyond the stage, Vera serves as the Associate Director of the Development at the Alameda Health System Foundation, supporting accessible healthcare initiatives. As a proud member and co-host of the Rebel Kings of Oakland and father of House of Pack, Vera uplifts the drag community and advocates for inclusivity and activism through their art and really pulled this event together. I contacted Vera. We have more amazing humans. We have books. We have food. We are recording tonight, so watch your standing up and all that of the camera. Without further ado, Vera!
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the library, everybody. Yes, I know. Yes, come in, snuggle in. There's chairs, there's hummus, there's tabbouleh. Delicious. Everyone's teeth are going to be so attractive by the end of this hour. I can't wait. Let's just, when do you get to la in the library? Let's do it together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that felt good. Oh, it's the only time in a library, the library right now for Queer Armenian Voices at the what? Library. I am so excited for the Queer Armenian Voices. I want to acknowledge that yesterday was Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day. 1.5 million Armenians in 1915, and it's still going. It's still going in Armenia, and it's still going in Palestine right now. Having a Genocide Remembrance Day while one is going on is a lot to hold, and it's an honor to be here and be reflecting on that and to hold that space and to have this both historical and current present time right now memory. And we also are celebrating our queer Armenian voices and being queer and being Armenian. And that Venn diagram overlap is what? Incredible. It's incredible. And I think a lot about how, being queer sometimes keeps us out of Armenian spaces and makes some Armenian things not feel like they're for us. I feel like my deepest connections to Armenian culture has been queer. So when I think about the fact that there are straight Armenians, I sometimes get surprised because my connection is there. It's not through my dad because it didn't come down that way. The queer thing cut that happening. So I really discovered a lot of my Armenian joy and queer Armenian joy, synonymous, same thing, when I came to the Bay Area in 2005, my first Pride in 2006. I was watching Pride, I was cheering, I was being a gay, and I looked out and I saw a little sign, bop, 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 and in the Pride parade that said, homosexuality is not tabbouleh. And I followed that sign for the entire parade. I knocked down children. I was like, I don't care who in Civic Center is here to enjoy this parade. I am following that sign to the end. And that led me to meeting the members of QHI, which was a very sweet queer Armenian group, and that led me to meeting members of SWANA, which is a queer SWANA group, and then I marched with them in Pride for years and years and years. I know, so it was great. I just fake belly danced my way through several Prides, and then something amazing happened, and I met Hadid. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I have too much makeup on for that. I know, shock. This is not my beard, everybody. I am Armenian, so I have a lot of what? Naturally occurring facial hair, but I drew this on. I'm just being, radical transparency here at the library, at the La 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 library. You know what I'm saying? I met Hadad, and Hadad opened my world to a lot of beautiful queer Armenian literature, dance, and that led me to do a performing diaspora residency where I had queer and trans Armenian teachers teach me the dances that I never learned, and Hadad had to teach me, and that is a big effort because it was like teaching a child who had no knowledge, and it was like a SWANA step-up story of two left feet, and like had the heart but not the feet. You know what I'm saying? So that's my personal, really emotional introduction of Hadad, who is my queer Armenian sibling, the reason for the season, the reason I feel Armenian. I could go on and on, but I will actually read Hadad's bio for you. That's right, because you have a bio beyond my favorite person. It goes beyond that. Yes, bring to the stage my favorite person, Hadad, but wait. Hrayr Varaz is a poet, linguist, and advocate for Western Armenian language and culture. A graduate of UCLA and MIT because for Armenians, one is not enough. Varaz's passion for Armenian education and language revitalization shines through in his work, including the pocket-sized book of Twitter poems, #JifJif. And let me tell you, some of them are nasty. Do you like nasty Armenian poems, everybody? Yes? They're nasty. Yes, come in. It was a leaf, but I'll pretend it was trying to come in. Through innovative linguistic techniques and a playful approach to grammar and orthography, Hadad seeks to demystify Western Armenian and encourage language learners of all ages, with a desire to liberate writers from the fear of making mistakes. Also does this through dance, can confirm. Hadad's book embodies the spirit of creativity and exploration. Based in where? San Francisco, we are so blessed. Hadad also emphasizes his commitment to acknowledging and honoring the indigenous lands of the Ramaytush First Peoples. Bring to the stage, the library, the library. My favorite person, it's Hadad.
Hi, thank you, Vera. And I want to continue the story of 2006 because that was my first Pride Parade of San Francisco. But I didn't know Vera, but I did see the sign and the Armenian contingent as well, and that was really cool. But yeah, this is my book I printed a year and a half ago. I write poems in Western Armenian and English. They're tweet-sized, and I use emojis. I'm going to read 3 from this book, which is available on the free book stand. I have another book coming out this summer. I'll read a few from that, and I'm going to read a translation that I did. Yeah, and a new poem. Okay. This first one is to my grandmother. I just made kerke with my cousin, Maral, who's over there, for the first time, and it turned out pretty good. Anyway, so this is my grandmother who was making them, and this is for her. I'm going to read the English first, then the Armenian. Okay. Ga, Teseta, ketchup with her macaroni, dancing with prancing and cheer. Ga, the tin can sank to the bottom. How lovely! Oh my! The best pastry. Thanks, Lavush. Salty bakelings, Armenian coffee. Erase it, they'll make fun of me. Spinach spiral, meatball spa, in loving memory of my grandma. Üfbe, Setain. Makaronin het ketchup. Nazin het bar ugadag. Üfbe, tinkanin bottom sinkerav. Աղվոր ama ասքան համեղ անուշեղեն չեմ գերած, շնորհակալ եմ ջան, սուրջով աղի կեղկե, ավրեք հա, վրաս կխնդան, սպաննախով բերեգ, köfte լախնի, հանկուցյալ մեծ մորս հիշադագին. Thank you. And as Vera mentioned, yesterday was Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day. I had the great fortune to visit some of the lands in 2005 of Western Armenia, which is now Eastern Turkey. So this is dedicated to those lands. Ani Mush Gars Julfa, to Western Armenia. Instantly zapped to the city of Ani in ruins. Fuck, they love to erase. A village, Mush outskirts. You realize here and there, a cross, a letter, a Havejutyan Nishan, eternity symbol. On a rock, a rock, a rock, a corner of this house, Armenian church remains. Crosses in Gars, now T-I line. The ones in Julfa, desecrated. Ani Mush Gars Julfa. Megan Kamen Ani Kagak Nedvetsa. Vorkan Averag. Vorkan Chinchel Gesiren. Mushi Modaga Kyugeren. Hos Hon. Negades Dharma, Karma. Havejutyan Nishanma. Karima, Karima, Karima. Karima Vera as Dunin as Anguna. Hay Yegeretsineru Manatortner. Garsi Khacher. Tivads, Aivads, Dashvads. Julfan Neruna Chartu Pashur. Thank you. And this one is dedicated to Lara Sarkisian, who's a DJ who used to live here and now lives in Glendale. Yeah, it's called Flagging, which is a gay activity that happens a few times a year in the AIDS Grove. You should check it out. Flagging to Lara Sarkisian. Look up, so much sky. Together, a pair of birds, drunk off the wind currents, round and round after each other. Lara's NTS segment. Sun, moon, bird, flag. Half moon risen an hour ago. Pride flag from afar, pretty near, here. Aman, aman, markeres manats. My flagging with the wind. Nunez zurna, circle dance. All of us, together. Teroshmel, Larain. Vernais, Vorkan yerginka. Zuik meterchun irar hed. Hovi hosanknere harpads. Glor, irar yedeve. Larain NTS hadvadze. Arev, Lusin, Terchun, Teroshag. Gisa Lusine, Jamma Arach yelads. Herven, Diadzani mer Teroshag. Aman, aman, markeres manats. Hovov Teroshmeles, Nunein, Zurnain, Shuchbar, Amenknis, Miasin. Thank you. This poem I translated, and it's in this collection by the Armenian Creatives. The original poem's in English. It's by Nancy Agabian, and I have an intro to it, so I'll read it. Okay, so this is the intro, not the poem. Last year, 2021, on my first trip to Palm Springs as a gay man, browsing a queer used bookstore, I came across a book of writings about AIDS from the 90s. I was browsing for poem books, getting ideas of how I wanted my first poem book to look and feel. On the back cover of Blood Whisperers, Nancy Agabian was the first name in the list of authors whose work was included in the collection. I had read her Me as Her Again and participated in online writing groups she had been putting on for the past year. Found and read her poem, The Fast Flow, Familiarity, and Expressed Emotions Engulfed Me. Untitled, in the collection. Online, the title is Fear of Sex. And it was written in '94, and it's about AIDS and HIV. Okay, I'm gonna read the, the English first, then the Armenian. Okay. Fear of Sex. Sick television, day, and it makes me think and scare. HIV positive. Can I get it through kissing, spit? No. Were there bleeding sores on his mouth? No. Did the condom leak? I don't know. I'm nervous every day. Sick, last laugh. On me, first sex. Fatal, ouch, ouch. It hurt, and I bled. And if it mixed with dirty semen, I'm dead. No, I'm not alive. I will end before I began, and it's all my fault. I was wrong without any sex, and now I am dead wrong, with it too, but I was safe. We weren't messy, everything clean, and the rubber didn't tear. Even the man, Greg was his name on the AIDS hotline, told me I would know if it did rip. They run like nylons, he said, but Greg doesn't wear nylons. I asked him, so I'm still scared till I get tested. Won't do it, don't want to die slow. Okay, so that's Nancy's writing, and now I translated this. Okay. Seri vache. Հիվանդ հերադեսիլի, օր և մտածել, գուդա ինձի և վախ, միավի վարագագիր, կարելի է վարագվիլ, բաչիկ թուք ոչ, գային արյունոդ, պշտիկներ պերանին ոչ, ծածկած էր բահբանագը, ես չեմ գիտեր, ես եմ մտահոգ ամեն օր, հիվանդ վերջին խնդուկ, առաջին քունելս, մահացու ախ, ցավեցավ և ես արյունեցա և եթե ան խարն աղդոդ սերմով մերա չէ ողջ եմ բիդի վերջանամ նախքան ես սկսեմ և ամենը իմ հանցանքս է ես սխալ եմ առանց քունելու և հիմա ես սխալ եմ անով ալ փայց ես ապահով էի մենք չէինք անհոգ ամեն ինչ մաքուր և բադյանը չբادرեցավ նույնիսկ ան մարդը Գրեգեր անունը Ցիահի օկնակիզին ասավ ինձի ես գկիտնայի եթե բադրի գփախի ինչպես կոլանը ասավ անփայց Գրեգը կոլան չի հակվիր ես հարցուցի իրեն ուրեմն թեր վաղցած մինչև որ քննվիմ չեմ ըներ չեմ ուզեր կիտնալ մեռնիլ կամած Thank you Whew. Yeah. Question? No? Okay. Sorry. Okay. And this is from the new book. It's more language games oriented. Yes, I'm going to read 3 from here. Okay. The first one's called Gor. Yes. I'm going to read the Armenian first for this. Okay. Այսմեր գորը, գերթամ գորը, այսօր ասմեկ մասնիգին մեկ հատ լավնա է, մեզի ինչեր գուդա, գքրեմ, կիդես հոսոն, գքրեմ գոր, ասիգա հոս, հիմա, կեզի, գորին վրա նեմնա գրնասավեցնել, գեպես գորն է, ինձի համարա եպ է, կորձնական, գորգոր գլաս գոր կորձածելով, մենք մեզի չի զրգենք, մեզի մեր լեզվի դված նվերները Gor ing our God our going today this particle look closely the things it gives us I write here and there I am writing this here now to you stack a ne on a gor if you are cooking cook for me too useful we gorgors use gor let's not deprive us of our language's gifts. And gorgor is used as a derogatory term sometimes to refer to Western Armenians. So, okay. Yes. All right. This one's called Ig Ug Ag. I'm also going to read the Armenian first because it makes more sense. Bzdig dodig. Vodigi madig, Galorig anushig, hamovig barig, Galorag, danag, lusnag, lejag, Manchug, karnug, mamug, babug, Hayrig, mayrig, kuirig, tornig, Sonig, julig, ternig, zovig, aschig, Manug, arshag, hovig, Zavag, archug, hovag, Patug, patig, potorig, Porig, morig, bachik, belig, kichik. E-A-U. Tiny toe, foot finger. Plump, cute, delectable fairy. A lit lake yurt. A child, a sheep, mama, papa, daddy, mommy, sis, and grandkid. Joey, Jimmy, James, John, Jean, Joan. Jean, Joe, Joan, Jeannie, Joanne, Johnny. Hug, duck, hurricane. Tummy yummy, moochie poochie, little by little. Okay. Now, thank you. Okay. Okay, this one I'll read the English first. Okay. Pop, pop, pop. Popcorn in hot oil. Pop, 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 pop. Dance together. Flow, left, right. One shuffle, shuffle, two shuffle, shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, go! Right, left, right. Comes fast, takes and goes. Clutch the given of the DJ. Feel the throb of the bass to the half and the quarter beat. Dance to what you know. Bring it back. Use it. Share your overflow. Grab the tail and go. Disco bore. And my poet last name is Bor in Armenian, Varaz. And so there's bors here and there. And there's also emojis. I'm not saying emoji after each one, but I usually do. Anyways. Okay. Pat, put, pat. Goreg, dak, yurin. Pat, put, pat. Bare, miasin. Hosir, tsach, ach, tsach. Mek, chaf, chaf. Yergu, chaf, chaf. Mek, yergu, yerek, chores. Hop! Emoji. Ach, tsach. Emoji. Arakuka, arkana. Gabvir, devadze, yeraj, charnogin. Tsensuma, eska, beisin. Ges, karort, bitin. Bare, kitsadzit. Yedper, korzaze. Hortadzit, shere. Ar, boche kana. Hazar Haili Varazi. Yay. Thank you. I'm going to read two more that I just wrote. I wrote one. Okay, let me find it. Okay. I wrote this one last night, and I was sitting at the Dolores bench looking at the Capitol, the City Hall, that was lit in Armenian tricolor last night. And it was a full moon, and the stars were out, so it was like very poetic. So I wrote a poem. Okay. Blue dome, red apricot, stars connect ancestors. Aintab Marash Gurun Smyrna. Big Dipper above, Boötes and Virgo right, Gemini left, Lyra ahead, Van. Connected, Armenian genocide, Artsakh, Ghaze, collective freedom struggle. Swallow the collective freedom struggle. Solidarity is the only solution. Long live Palestine and Armenia. And these names are towns where my great-grandparents are from in what is now Turkey. Yeah. Gabuid, heart emoji, Gadmir, Gamar, Gadmir Diran. Astghere nach Niner gegaben, Eintab Marash Gürün Smyrna. Kluches Vera Mez Sherepe. Աչքիս ես նարածը ու գույսը, ցախիս զույգը, եկվորյագը, արջևս քնարը, վանը, գաբված եղերն Արցախ ղեզե, հավաքական ազատման պայքար, հաբը գլե, միությունն է, միակ լուծումը, գեցե, Բաղեստինն ու Հայաստանը. Thank you. And the last one I wrote on Friday. This last Friday in the Castro. Create, right then, and look, the moon's there, out and about in the Castro. The Super Bowl? Nah, drag race. Change, all links needed. Visit other cities, wander like a bird. The out there awaits. Go, be seen. Go in, mix. Look, up and down, to the shiny things, colorful things. The flow forever flowing. Cat emoji. Dere derin sterze. Naye, Lucina hone. Yelads getsads castrone. Super Bowl ne. Drag race ne. Փոխե ամեն գա պետք է ուրիշ քաղաք այցելե թրջունի պես թափարե դուրսը քեզի կսպասե դուրս եկ երևե մդիր խառնվիր վեր եւ վար նայե փայլուն փաներուն քույնս քույներուն հոսանքը միշտ հոսուն. Thank you.
Can we give it up one more time for my favorite person who died? Wow. Wow. All right, everyone. This is what you're going to get. You just had beautiful Armenian English poetry. Was it not beautiful? It was beautiful. I can't even understand Armenian, but I know deep down, because I'm Armenian, that it was beautiful. Now you get this bizarre palate cleanser, everybody, in between. So you get 5 minutes of unadulterated me, and then you get Taleen. Oh. So if in the middle of my number you're like, what is happening? Just know Taleen is coming. Taleen is coming. I'll just say sorry, bro, in advance. Oh, see what I did there? Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So we're going to do a little audience participation consent, opt-in, opt-out, okay? So the chorus of this song, confusing because of my face and my transness, but the chorus is, I am an Armenian girl of this song. It's repeated. Yeah, so every time it'll be a little dissonant. We can all lean into that dissonance together and be like, it's funny because they're not. Yes. And then we can all, it's a joke we all share. We all share that now. We're all friends. We're all Armenian. Just kidding. Okay. But so when it says, I am an Armenian girl, you have the option, opt-in, opt-out, consent-based, to raise your little hands in the air. Not, in your personal space, the seats are tight. And just have a little Armenian ethnic hand gesture moment where you just, you raise the roof, but in an Armenian style. So let's just practice. I am an Armenian girl. Oh, yes. See, I knew, yes. Oh, some people have shoulder action too. I see you. It's the same people who have the good brows in this audience. I'm putting the two and two together here. So I'm gonna move this. I'll move it back for you. Don't worry. I'm not gonna have you read from this back here, but I see it already in my future that I fling my arms out and it flies. So it's gonna be over here, and I'm gonna find. Oh, yes. Do you see my technical capabilities, everyone? Thank you. Has anyone seen an Armenian drag king performance before this very moment? Yes. Was it me? Yes. Wow. That makes me feel really happy in the La 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 library. But just to let you know, there are many amazing Armenian drag kings. Rusty Hammer. So you can follow us all at once, and then we can all talk about it. You can follow on Instagram at Veritas_22, because I have my master's in what? Unfortunately, not Armenian, but Latin. Thank you. My husband knows. Great. 1 out of 1. Perfect. But Rusty Hammer is in Boston. There are also other beautiful Armenian drag kings, but there's also an Armenian drag queen in Canada named Anush Allah. Yes, we have a fan in the audience, or somebody just likes the let it be delicious pun. Yes. Okay, so we're ready to raise the arms. We're ready. We got it. Everyone stretch. Have I stretched? No. Armenian mistake. Oh, there we go. One leg. Yep. Good. Great. Okay, here we go. Okay. Cool story. I can't really hear the words. Is there library tech people, is there a way that the words could be? Is there? Is it the dongle? Is it the dongle? Try flipping it. Flipping the dongle. That's my new poem, Hadid. Flipping the dongle, heart emoji. Okay, I'll try it. And then, if not, everyone, we're gonna pivot because I'm what? Armenian, and we're just gonna pick another song, and I'm just gonna line and fan dance for you. Wow, that's it's really a win-win for you. But we'll try the flipped dongle approach. Okay, maybe I'll do this. Play it. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. Okay. Okay. That's. Do I. Well, you know what? No. Well, yes. But will you also dance, Hadid? Sure. Okay. Yes, this is hot. I like it. Yes.
When I was busy shopping at Bloomingdale's. You then came up to me, hoping that I would give a chance to you. You whispered in my ear, blah blah blah, and asked me then, where are you from? I said, from Armenia I am. You said, well, that's cool. Hey girl, listen, they wear the Kardashians are from. I said, yeah, but hold on, just relax and move on. You can mess with me, baby, mess with me just for fun. You don't know it yet. The ambitions are for me, yes. This is not a rich man's girl. I just don't trust this guy. Cause I am an Armenian.
Thank you, everyone. Let's give it up one more time for, oh, yes, it's on repeat. I love that for me. You can't stop our people. We'll start back up again. The commitment, did you like the domo grease and the hair commitment? Did that work for you? It really worked for me. When we're out of a library setting, I do other things with that too. I'll just let that ... itself. Okay. Does anyone like my Armenian wedding hat? You do. Thank you. I ordered this directly from Armenia. Yes? Yes. Oh, with the yes. Oh. Oh. Yes, we're palm for palm here, people. Oh, pomegranate for pomegranate. Yes. I ordered this from Armenia, and it's a wedding outfit. She also gave me this beautiful... bridesmaid, not, what is it? No, what is it when it's a bachelorette outfit? You're supposed to wear this the night before, you know what I'm saying? I'm winking at my spouse. I skipped that, I didn't wear the special Armenian night before outfit. Who even knows what luck I've brought on myself? But she asked me to send her photos of my wedding, and I did not, because I thought, is she ready for me? I decided my beautiful friend was not ready. I was just let that linger. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. My obsession with Taleen is extreme. That would be my intro for Taleen. Luckily, I have this as well. But this is our first time meeting in person, everybody. Yes, applaud, because the fact that I have lasted this long with my deep obsession, having not met Taleen in person. Taleen Voskuni is an award-winning writer who grew up in the Bay Area Armenian diaspora and is now with you in the where? The library. She graduated from UC Berkeley with a BA in English and currently lives in San Francisco, working in tech. Everyone go, ooh. As a consultant, nice mask. Oh my gosh. That was actually for the angel with the Armenian rug mask, but I feel like that had a double meaning, but moving right along. Other than a newfound obsession with writing rom-coms, and we're also obsessed with them, she spends her free time cultivating her kids, her garden, and her dark chocolate addiction. While consulting in tech. Her first novel, Sorry Bro, recently received starred reviews from Kirkus and Booklist. MIT and the other one, Kirkus and Booklist. We can't just do one, we must excel in multiple. Was named an Amazon editor's pick and was favorably reviewed. We are only favorably reviewed. Armenians only receive favorable reviews. In the New York Times. Sorry Bro is also the winner of the 2023 Golden Poppy Award for Best Romance. It was a Golden Poppy Award. There was no other selection. Oh, okay. Lavash at First Sight is her second published novel. Bringing to the stage your library, Taleen Voskuni!
Oh my God, doesn't get better than that. My favorite intro ever. Hi everyone, I'm Taleen. I'm going to be reading for you from Sorry Bro, maybe Lavash if there's time, and possibly even an unpublished short literary work if there's time. And if we're in the mood, we'll see. So this is my first book, Sorry Bro, that came out last year in January. We were all talking about our pride and our coming out. So my coming out was this book, actually. Instead of coming out, I wrote an entire book and then did it after. So that was how that came about. So I'm going to read two passages from here. The first one is a little more about queerness, and the second one is a little more about Armenianness, but they are very much combined and intertwined in this book. So let me see if there's any background you need here. So for this first scene, the main character is Nare. She's a 27-year-old I should probably tell you what this book is about. Let me read the back cover real quick. So Nare Bedrosian's non-Armenian boyfriend gets down on one knee and proposes to her in front of a room full of drunk San Francisco tech boys. She realizes it's time to find someone who shares her idea of romance. Enter her mother. Armed with plenty of mom guilt and a spreadsheet of Facebook stalked Armenian men, she convinces Nar to attend Explore Armenia, a month-long series of events in the city. But it's not the mom-approved Playboy doctor or the wealthy engineer who catches Nar's eye. It's Yerebuni, a woman as immersed in the witchy arts as she is in preserving Armenian identity. Suddenly, with Yerebuni as her wingwoman, the events feel less like a chore and much more of an adventure. Who knew cooking up kuftes together could be so sexy? Yerebuni helps Nar see the beauty of their shared culture and makes her feel understood in a way she never has before. But there was one teeny problem. Nar's not exactly out as bisexual. The clock is ticking on her double life. The Explore Armenia closing banquet is coming up, and her entire extended family will be there, along with Yerebuni. Nar's worlds will inevitably collide, but she is determined to be brave and claim her happiness. Proudly Armenian, proudly bisexual, and proudly herself for the first time in her life. So that's what it's about. And in this scene, Nare has gone to her first event and is debriefing her mom and cousin Diana and her grandma. And she has met Yerebuni already and is thinking about her and how to bring her up. So she's telling her mom and sister, cousin here, I made some other friends too. Jeannette from the South Bay somewhere. My mom chimes in. Oh, Jeannette, is she thin and small? Reminds you of a bird, a pretty bird? Yeah, that's dead on. I know her, Yakubians. Parents are both professors at San Jose State. Very snobby. She draws out very for like 10 seconds. But you liked each other. That is good. More or less we did. There was also, I braced myself and set my voice to almost bored. Another woman, Yerebuni. Last name, Mardirosyan? No, Minasyan. I think that's it. Do you know her? She's from Fresno. Yerebuni. Strange name. Never heard of Yerebuni. Minasyans, we know a couple, but none from Fresno. Who else? That's all I'm going to get on Yerebuni. I'm simultaneously disappointed and relieved. What if my mom had known her family and, like, hated them or something? A modern-day Capulet-Montague rivalry. As soon as I think it, I'm struck with how I'm actually considering Yerebuni as a prospect. I don't know, I'm tired and my guard is down and I want to see her again. I also realize how absurd it is to be worried about whether or not my mom dislikes her family. First, because that's assuming Yerebuni has any interest in women whatsoever. Second, if she did, that she would like me. And finally, as if what my mom would object to would have anything to do with family ties and nothing to do with Yerebuni's gender. It's not like my mom is super prejudiced against gay people, unlike Tanti Sona, Dad's sister, who is definitely like anti-gay memes on Facebook, which she probably doesn't know are public. But my mom has lamented about other people's kids being gay because they'll have a harder life, but good for their parents for accepting them, and it's so difficult for everyone, etc. Not what you call progressive, but she doesn't want to shut people up in closets, and she doesn't think being gay is a choice, so that's a step in the right direction. But what's holding her acceptance back is that it's not like the Armenian community exactly welcomes LGBTQ plus people with open arms. I don't know a single openly gay person who is strongly involved in the community. This is not me. It might be a symptom of my not being that involved in the events in the first place. Like, there might be some gay men on the committee for Armenian young professionals, but I wouldn't know about it. Instead, what I've grown up with are hearing whispers about such and such handsome man in his 40s with a good job who never married. Is he secretly gay? Who cares? Leave the poor guy alone. And there are almost zero mentions of lesbians, as if the notion does not exist at all. What happened to all the Armenian lesbians? Either they get labeled spinsters or marry a man, I guess. The sense I get is that the larger Armenian community is quietly hostile to anyone who's gay. So even with mom being more tolerant, I never came out to her or dad. I mean, why would I? I know that's not the modern way of thinking about things, and Gen Z would roast me for saying it. But I've only dated guys before. I've never mentioned being attracted to women because I never dated any of them seriously, only messed around, mostly in college. Hazy nights of alcohol, enough to slip into actually doing the thing instead of just flirting around it, followed by them being irritatingly chill in the morning, straight girls having a bit of fun. Telling my parents basically have been saying, I'm having casual sex with women as well as men. The very definition of TMI in my mind. Now, if I gave women a fair shot, that'd be different. So for all my mom knows, I am as straight as Taylor Swift. And she changes a lot through the course of the book. So this is like very early on, her thoughts and her journey to like being accepting of who she is, both as an Armenian and as a queer person. So that's early Nar, before she learns a lot. Okay, and because, yesterday was Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day, I did want to read this second scene. So in this scene, Yerebuni, who is on I believe her job is the director of Armenian genocide education, and she put on a lecture about the Armenian genocide with a professor, and it got crashed by Turkish nationalists. And the reason I put this book in a rom-com was because this had happened to me several times. It happened at Berkeley at a genocide lecture, and when my sister was at Stanford, it happened there. And I just thought, the first time it happened, I was like 19 years old, and I had lived in a very, rose-colored world, and I couldn't believe there were genocide deniers right there, as saying that, we were the ones that perpetrated, these crimes against them. So it was so, I had to put in. As an Armenian, I slipped into my rom-com, so I'm pretty happy I did that. So that had just happened, the lecture, and now Yerebuni and Nare are in Berkeley debriefing. We're sitting in the dim sum shop, each with 2 steaming pork buns in front of us. Gallantly, I paid for them, and as I handed over the cash, I mused that this is our first dinner date. Not how either of us expected it to go, I imagine. Yerebuni looks sunken, sitting across from me in the little wooden booth, like she's short at the wick. On our walk over, she called the lecture a disaster and chided herself for not handling it better, but I told her there was nothing else she could do. She's peeling the wrapper off her bow so slowly, it's like she doesn't want to eat it at all. I should have expected it, brought in security, or at least had a check-in area. It seems like she's being harsh on herself. Who expects their academic lecture to be crashed? How would you have known, though? I take my first bite, and I burn my tongue on the sizzling hot pork. Even my teeth ache from it. She shrugs. It happens all the time. I set my food down. What? She's finally removed the bun from its wrapper, but doesn't move to pick it up. Consistently. Happened at Stanford recently, happened in San Francisco a few years ago, happened back when I was in undergrad. That is wild. I had no idea. I mean, it's not like I'm going to genocide lectures constantly, so I don't have opportunities to see this sort of thing. But I assumed what happened tonight was a fluke. Some weirdos who were bored on a Wednesday night. Seriously? She looks straight at me now, and her fingers tap on the table occasionally as she talks, punctuating her words. Nar, they will do anything not to confront the truth. That's what the lecture was supposed to be about, in a way. When denial is so wrapped up with identity, some people, usually extremists, will take any measure to protect their version of their identity. Every time we talk about the Armenian genocide, they take it as a personal affront, like we're pointing a finger at them personally saying, you are a mass murderer. But of course that's not true, and that's not why we talk about it. Our survival is still at stake, even today. We're boarding 2 nations that would rather we didn't exist. Turkey tried its best to eliminate us and denies it happened, and Azerbaijan, on the other side, claims we stole their land, us, the indigenous civilization that has lived there for 3 millennia. She shakes her head and lets out a long breath. I'm disappointed in myself, that's all. Genocide education is my lifeblood, and I should have known. Wow, the self-imposed fog I've cast upon the topic of the Armenian genocide is beginning to lift, and I think I get it now, at least a little, what I couldn't see before. I'd always assumed a genocide was a static thing that happened, one tragic event covered in bubble wrap and placed on a shelf of historical archives. But after today, I can see it's a living, breathing thing, and the monster of it continues to claw its way into our lives. That's why she's so invested in this. Someone has to fight back. All right, so that's that. All right. So I'm wondering what the mood is now. Do you want a serious, short literary piece, or do you want something fun? Maybe I should end with the fun. Yeah. All right, both. We have time? We have time? Okay. All right. So this, I did want to give a content warning. It does touch on sexual assault of a minor, non-descriptive. So if I want to give anyone the chance to take a second if you don't want to read it, but it is written respectfully. So this is unpublished still, but I am trying to publish it at the moment. So we'll see. So it's a flash fiction piece, 1,000 words. It's called Fruit and Fractions. On the table, apricots blush, sliced to their stony seeds. A faded bowl of walnut brains sits untouched, and long, wet spears of cucumber sweat beside them. Goods grown right here in Fresno, just like you. The professor picks you up by the waist and sets you next to the spread. His beard is silver-spangled, and his brows touch. He resembles your Uncle Varuj, who plays the piano at Christmas time, except this man doesn't smile as much. Until his grab, it had not crossed your mind to be afraid. You can always trust Armenians, their family, your mom had once promised. But the Turks and Azeris you must never speak to. They cut your great-grandfather in half. In half. That was 3rd grade. The man rips free the hard pit and holds a piece of apricot in his fingers where hair sprouts above the knuckle. The mother tree is from Hayastan, he tells you, so you're aware it's special. His wife, who is tutoring you in pre-algebra so you can earn a scholarship to a private high school, so you can get into an elite American university, so you could break the barrier into sky-high economic mobility, is supposed to be home. She ran out when she got a call that her son broke his leg on the parallel bars. Her husband, the history professor, stepped in and said he could tutor you instead. How hard could pre-algebra be? First, though, he insists, we must nourish the stomach before we can nourish the mind. He sounded so fobby with his accent that you dismissed him. Eat, he demands, and pushes the apricot pink flesh into your mouth. You expect summer sweet, but the apricot is sour and tough, and you feel like a fool, knowing you'll never be able to swallow it. When his finger broaches your lips, fingernail and scraping your tongue, you are thankful there's no extra taste but the apricot. Your eyes fix upon a thickly framed painting of Hrayr Varaz Monastery, the peaks of Medzmasis and Pokormasis looming above the lone cloister. You remember seeing the real thing 2 years ago on that charity religious Armenia trip. Wandering the fruit market, your mother bought carton after carton with a moneyed hunger, collecting fragrant raspberries from a pail, larval mulberries in black and beige, and a pound of the treasured golden orbs. This is what a real apricot tastes like, she said, mouth full, eyes half closed. You weren't sure what to make of the foreign fruit. Flavorful, sure, but so soft your mind feared rot, picked too close to the beginning of death. Americans were terrified of letting anything spoil, and you've grown accustomed to eating produce before its prime. That afternoon in Yerevan, you and your mother gorged yourself in the artless hotel room, save for the window giving you a full view of biblical Mount Ararat. You had washed the fruits with tap water, so the following day you developed a fever and vomited every sweet thing you'd eaten. Your mother screamed at you for wasting her hard-earned cash. Paused, awaiting your reaction, the man stares past his finger into your split mouth. He seems to be giving you a choice. You are too ugly to have been kissed before. You are, honestly, equal parts frightened and flattered. With your tongue, you roll his sandpaper digit to your teeth and chew to test, like a puppy. Last month, your class watched the 40 Days of Musadar, and you forgot most of it, except the little boy who was stretched upon the bed, the clink of Talyat Pasha's belt unbuckling. A traitorous part of your heart always wondered if the horrors of the genocide were exaggerated, but today you realize they weren't. Few believed them. None will believe you. His finger swims against your budding wisdom teeth, expectant, moving towards an answer. The apricot mush sags in your cheeks. You vaguely wonder if your great-grandfather died quick enough not to feel anything. He did not have the option to run away and pretend to forget. This man, who moments ago squeezed his hands onto your non-existent hips and lifted you up, his ancestors were also tortured or killed or escaped. Every Armenian has a similar sad story. Even when you are betrayed, you are lucky. Your eyes hang on the eternally icy caps of Ararat, finding only a wary inevitability. Miss Frunjan's Tuesday pop quiz may have revealed you do not understand fractions, but now you feel you have received new insight. Fruit is meant to be picked at, taken apart, halved, quartered, devoured. You reassure yourself that's the only way a new seed can grow. Still, like the math problems on paper, you cannot solve this one. Sorry, kind of heavy. So I really enjoy writing literary on the side, publishing short, and writing books like this also to really liven the mood. So Lavash at First Sight is my follow-up book. It's coming out May 7th, so this is not available yet. But it's soon, very, very soon. And this book, there was actually sort of a sneak peek in Sorry Bro. There was that line about what if my parents hated her parents like they were a Montague Capulet kind of deal. That's this book. So I thought this book is not a coming out book. Both women are out to their parents. And I wanted to sort of write the evolution of it. So I felt like I wrote the Armenian coming out story. So what would be next? And that was Lavash at First Sight, where these two women fall for each other at a conference, a food packaging conference in Chicago. Both their parents on the cover own Armenian food companies, and they're competing head-to-head to win a spot in the Super Bowl, an ad spot in the Super Bowl. So it's a lot of fun. This book is not serious. It is pure Armenian queer joy. I want a book to be just for fun also. So that's why I wrote Lavash at First Sight. Okay, so completely different than everything I've read to you. This is like pure rom-com now. The two families are on an architectural tour on a boat in Chicago. Has anyone done the architectural boat tour? Oh, I'm seeing some nods. Yes, it is wonderful. I've been on like 5 times. I lived in Chicago for a year, and every time someone came to visit us, we did the tour, and I didn't regret it. And the competition is still on, and there is a wings hot sauce competition, and both parents have decided to join. And Vanya and Nazeli quickly follow. Nazeli is our main character. Vanya is the love interest. You're going to hear some names, but hopefully it'll all make sense. Oh God, they're doing the hot sauce challenge together. I gasp, not containing my horror to Vanya. My dad has some weird throat issue. He should not be doing this, Vanya says, concerned coding her words. And though Toras doesn't seem like the nicest man in the world, her worry for him is touching. We rush up to our parents, and thankfully they haven't started yet. Mom is reaching for possibly the first chicken wing of her life, but the brand rep, whose name tag reads Doug, is still plating the rest of the wings with a pair of tongs. As Nora grasps her plate, she asks, "Do these have gluten?" I catch my mom rolling her eyes. "They're chicken wings, ma'am," Doug says in an almost mocking manner. I don't really like him, with his beard and unremarkable eyes. She smiles. "I know this. Do they have gluten?" "They do." Her smile falls. "Oh, I see. Well, for the competition." Vana asks her parents, "What are you guys doing? Dad, your throat. I don't think..." Toras interrupts her. "Vanya, Sirelis, you worry too much." But I can sense the falseness in his voice. He is definitely attempting to hide his own worry. "Mom, what about your IB? Vanya!" Her mom shouts, tiny and shrill as a hummingbird. Then she softens, saying, "Why don't you do it with us?" "Can't wait to say I told you so tonight," Vanya grumbles, stepping beside them. Realizing I'm now in this too, I say to Doug as shortly as possible, "I'm with them, Hagop's fine Armenian foods." "All right, then, everyone, keep in mind, there's no real winner to this game. It's all about participation. Judges might be coming around to say hi, to get to know you." Doug continues, "Now grab your first wing. I was telling these folks here that we've got a total of 5 sauces, and we're starting with mild barbacoa. Great smoky barbecue flavors." I whisper to my parents, "Are you sure about this?" Dad chortles, "This is nothing. In Lebanon, children are raised on Aleppo pepper, stirred into their preschool porridge." That's not a story he's ever told me before, and my bullshit meter's going off, but nevertheless, I grab my first wing and take a bite. Doug was right. This one's mild, the flavor's enticing. 1 point for Big Mike, and whoever cooked these chicken wings. Bob licks his clean and laughs. "An excellent piece of chicken. Do you see, Nazali John? I tell you, it will be fine." Mom is attempting to pick at hers daintily, dabbing at her mouth with every bite, lest any one spot a bit of sauce on her. I didn't think she'd enjoy food that required so much mouth-related upkeep. Vanya's parents seem fine with their wings, though Vanya is keeping a watchful eye over them. The next hot wings pass in much the same way, a tad more bite as promised. Vanya's mom's talking about the ginger's health benefits for the stomach and liver, and my mom audibly groans. The third is not what I'd call a non-event. I'm not sure if it's because our tongues are already pre-spiced from the first 2 wings, but this third one, Berserkly Dreams, is something of a doozy. About 5 seconds after my first bite, the spice seeps through the roof of my mouth, pinpricking me mercilessly, spreading to my tongue and throat. "Oh, damn, that's spicy," I say. "Nazeli," my mom warns. My parents cannot come to terms with me swearing, especially when it involves the Lord's name. Vanya is nodding, her mouth still closed, unable to speak. Then she comes out with, "That was a big step up, bro." Doug chuckles with a touch of malice. Of course they'd sound someone masochistic to oversee this event. Both sets of parents, though, have fallen silent as they chew. "Anyone need some milk?" Doug asks, barely hiding tinges of glee. He offered it early on as an option in case we couldn't handle the heat. With that type of qualifier, it's hard to say yes. I decide I'll hold out for the next wing. "No thanks," I say, wondering if speaking makes the flames in my mouth larger or smaller. It's honestly hard to tell. The fourth wing is about as equally spicy as the third, but my entire body is protesting, and I can't escape the thought, this is my life now. This is how it'll always be unless I do something. So I give in and ask for the milk. No use in pretending this isn't torture. I need help. Sweet, sweet relief in the form of 2% floods my mouth. It's both heaven and not nearly enough. I could tell the spice is going to be lingering for some time. Plus, there's still 1 more wing to go. I'm happy to see that Vanya follows my lead and chugs an entire glass. No one else does, though. I glance at my mother, her knockoff Fendi sunglasses from the Milpitas Great Mall, perched atop her nose, tears streaming down the sides of her face. "Mom?" I whisper, but she shoots a finger up in the air like, "Don't you dare talk to me right now." So I back away. Bob, meanwhile, is pretending to stare at an unusual glass skyscraper that sort of looks like a modern industrial Caesar's palace. He's placed his hand under his chin to complete the pondering effect, but with sweat beading on his forehead and constipated expression, he's not fooling anyone. Vanya's mom is mashing her lips repeatedly with a napkin as if that would help anything, but I suspect she understands the futility of her efforts. Toros is shifting his weight from side to side, asking rapid-fire questions of Doug, but none of them will come out all the way as he shuts his mouth to avoid further pain. So how long you been working? The hot sauce process isn't complicated. Then Doug shouts, "Final wing!" All right. That's it. You have to read on to see what happens at the final wing. All right, thank you.
That was amazing. If you want to read more, May 7th, it will be here. I have also done a hot vegan nugget competition with my drag child, Hennessy Williams. If you want to watch that on YouTube, it's embarrassing, so you can get a foreshadowing of what this will be like. I also cried. Oh my gosh, now that I've shared that with all of you, thank you so much for coming to Queer Armenian Voices! Taleen will be signing free. What did we not give you? We gave you Haddad. We gave you me. We gave you a feeding of grape leaves live. We gave you Taleen. We give you a free copy of Sorry Bro and snacks. And Taleen will sign it for you. And it will be hanging around. So thank you. Thank you to all the Armenians, all the highs in the audience, all the non-highs in the audience. This has been amazing. Thank you to the Eureka Valley Library. An amazing library, and thank you to Anissa for putting this all together. Yes. Any last library words other than get your book signed and go libraries? Okay. Take your free books. Take them. Don't leave and be like, "Oh, sorry, bro, I didn't bring you a copy." Oh, I'll end there. I'm a drag dad. A dad pun, end with a dad. Yay!